As dawn broke on November 20th, 1970, an audacious plan was in motion: Operation Ivory Coast. In the thick of the Vietnam War, a conflict that claimed countless lives and left an indelible mark on human history, a story of courage and daring was about to unfold. The war, a battleground of ideologies, had consumed the lives of many, and among them were American soldiers. Captured by the Viet Cong, they were confined in the infamous Son Tay prison, located 23 miles west of the North Vietnamese capital, Hanoi. The prison, notorious for its harsh conditions and brutal treatment of inmates, was a living nightmare for those held captive. Yet amidst these dire circumstances, the spirit of resilience and the hope for freedom never faded. The American soldiers held on, their spirits unbroken, awaiting rescue from an uncertain fate. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, the wheels were in motion. Intelligence reports had been pouring in, suggesting the presence of more than 60 American prisoners of war at Son Tay. This information sparked the flame for a daring rescue mission, a mission that was to be etched in the annals of military history as Operation Ivory Coast. As the intelligence was scrutinized and plans were meticulously laid out, the magnitude of the task at hand became clear. The mission was high risk, fraught with danger at every turn. But the objective was clear: to bring home the captive soldiers, to reunite them with their families, and to restore their freedom. A team of specialists was assembled, men who were the best in their fields, men who were prepared to brave the odds. They trained relentlessly, each aware of the enormity of the task they were about to undertake. Every detail was considered, every eventuality planned for. As the stage was set, the men involved knew the risks but were ready to risk it all for their fellow soldiers. With the plan in place, the operation began under the cover of darkness. The stillness of the night was punctuated by the thunderous roar of the diversionary air attack. As the bombs rained down on the outskirts of the North Vietnamese forces' base, they were drawn away, their attention diverted from the main event about to unfold. In the midst of this orchestrated chaos, the Special Forces team, like silent shadows, descended on the vicinity of the Son Tay prison. The team had one goal: to breach the prison walls and rescue the captive American prisoners of war. They moved swiftly, their every action a testament to their rigorous training and undying resolve. The prison was stormed, the guards taken by surprise. The element of surprise was on their side and they used it to their advantage. It was a symphony of calculated chaos, every move executed with precision and purpose. Their search began room by room, cell by cell. The hope of finding their fellow countrymen fueled their actions, the thought of their imminent freedom adding a sense of urgency to their mission. However, as they moved through the eerily silent prison, they found it to be devoid of the very people they had risked everything to save. The cells were empty, the prison abandoned. The realization slowly dawned upon them. The prisoners they sought to rescue were not there. Their hearts sank, their mission, in the traditional sense, a failure. But this was not a failure of execution or planning, but a failure of intelligence. The prisoners had been moved prior to the operation, their whereabouts unknown. The echo of their absence resonated within the empty prison, a haunting reminder of the cost of war. Despite the meticulous planning and execution, the mission was not a success in the traditional sense. The prisoners they sought to rescue were not there. Yet their efforts were not in vain. They had shown the world the lengths to which they would go to protect their own. A message that resonated far beyond the empty cells of Son Tay prison. The mission was over, but its impact was far-reaching. In the immediate aftermath of Operation Ivory Coast, there was a wave of disappointment. The daring rescue mission had failed to liberate American prisoners of war from the Son Tay camp in North Vietnam. However, this initial sense of failure would soon be overtaken by a realization of the mission's profound implications. The audacious attempt to free American POWs sent a powerful message, not only to the North Vietnamese but also to the world. It demonstrated the lengths to which the United States was willing to go to protect and rescue its servicemen and women. It was a clear and unequivocal statement of intent, a testament to the value placed on every American life. The ripple effects of Operation Ivory Coast were felt far beyond the borders of North Vietnam. The mission served as a beacon of hope for the POWs in other camps. News of the audacious rescue attempt spread like wildfire, boosting morale among the captive soldiers. They realized that they were not forgotten, that their country was making tremendous efforts to bring them home. Moreover, the operation had a significant impact on the North Vietnamese. Faced with the reality of a potential rescue mission at any time, they began to treat the POWs better. The mission had put them on notice, and they were compelled to follow the Geneva Convention more strictly. The treatment of American POWs improved, and the conditions of their captivity became more humane. In a broader sense, Operation Ivory Coast shifted the dynamics of the Vietnam War. It highlighted the plight of the POWs and brought their suffering into the international spotlight. This increased pressure on North Vietnam and played a role in the eventual end of the conflict. Operation Ivory Coast might not have achieved its immediate goal, but it had far-reaching effects that touched the lives of many. The mission may not have freed the POWs from Son Tay, but it certainly freed them from the shackles of despair and hopelessness, giving them the strength to endure. As we reflect on Operation Ivory Coast, its significance in the annals of military history becomes clear. A daring endeavor, it was a mission that required the utmost courage and calculation. The men involved, a band of brave souls, ventured into the heart of danger, driven by a determination to free their fellow soldiers from the clutches of captivity. The operation, while not entirely successful in its objective, nonetheless had a profound impact on the Vietnam War. It brought the plight of prisoners of war into the global spotlight, sparking a renewed focus on their treatment and conditions. Moreover, Operation Ivory Coast influenced military strategies and tactics, setting a precedent for future rescue missions. It demonstrated the lengths to which a nation would go to safeguard its soldiers and the audacity it would display in the face of overwhelming odds. In the end, Operation Ivory Coast stands as a testament to the courage, determination, and unyielding spirit of those who dare to venture into the heart of danger for their fellow men.